Is starting, and the transcription might put some of you out. Okay, good evening once again, everyone. Well done. The transcription might put some of you out. If it does, just join again. Okay. This call is now taking note. All right. I think everything is all right with our call tonight. So I trust you all had a great week last week, and this week you're already having one. All right.
So,
How many of you, if you've not gone through the orientation session, I don't know whether to say whether I should say lift your hands up or make sure you go through it. Just make sure you go through it. Okay. Make sure you read wide. You read everything that passes your front. Read and pay attention to details. There's one organizational skill that you will learn from this place, and that would be attention to details. Okay. You're going to learn attention to details. You're going to know how to pay attention to details. So it's one thing I really want you to pay attention to as you move on. Okay? Yeah. So as you move on, I want you to learn to pay attention to it. Always read so that you don't ask questions that have been answered. Okay, so in our last class, we introduced the course, did an overview of everything that we will be running through, beginning from environment, business environment to business objectives, and then to what do you call that now? Business policies and procedures. And we had some beautiful responses from colleagues who answered questions in our last class. Okay, and I said we're going to roll by discussing about objectives first. After that, we'll do an in-depth study of strategies and then policies before we go to environmental analysis, which is like the heart of the course. That's the core of strategic management, the information gathering part of strategic management. Good. So yeah, let's quickly look at objectives today. Today we'll be doing a comparative study of business objectives. Okay, so and now it's gonna be more interactive than the previous classes that we've had. So I want you to pay attention and also contribute your quota. Okay. All right. So we said the first things first. When you look into the business environment, you find opportunities and threats. But you look inward and you find strengths, business strengths, and business weaknesses. Right? So considering these things, you you now have to come up with something to do. What do I do? What do we do about these opportunities? Come to a community and find out that before they will get such a water, they have to travel or bring it from a very distant place. You see an opportunity. It's not enough to see opportunities, right? You have to come up with something to do to take advantage of that opportunity. Or you see a threat, it's not enough to just cite a threat. You have to come up with something to do to mitigate the effect of that threat. In the majority of cases, while you may not be able to control the, the occurrence of opportunities and threats, you may be able to control how you are affected by them. Okay? So we say that thing that you now concluded to do, whatever thing that you've concluded to do, that becomes an objective. That becomes objective. And if it's geared towards business activities, or let's say profiteering, making profit, then it becomes a business objective. That becomes a business objective, a real business objective. Okay? Yeah. So, um, so that's it. So here we are today, trying to discuss business objectives. It could be that you want to increase profit or you want to reduce cost. So those objectives always exist in the midst of constraints, limitations. Okay, I think that's where linear programming, that part of business mathematics, where you do a lot of iterations and co and co. That's where it comes up. But that's not what we're discussing tonight. Tonight we are looking at these business objectives from different angles, four levels basically. Okay, so we said you come to a locality and you find out that there's no particular kind of bread or bread. Before they get bread, they have to go far. Then you now say in your mind, I want to supply bread to this community. I want to make sure that the problem of bread in the community is solved. That's what they call purpose, business purpose, right? That's what they call business purpose. So you now go on to set up a business, a company, a bakery, whatever. So when they come and ask, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this business? Then you will say, to make bread available. Are you getting it now? Yeah. What's the purpose of this business? That's what they call mission. Another word for purpose is what? The mission. Okay. So you know the mission, what that organization is established to do. The problem it's established to solve. Okay. The reason why it is established. Give me a minute, a second, please. All right. So that's that about the first one. So we said who we are. What is this business? What does it exist to do? Okay. What does the business exist to do? What does it represent? That's like the first step, the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. It is based on this now that we can now say, okay, okay, so what? We've come up with a purpose. So what? We need to have first of all have that idea as to that bigger picture that we see a few years from now. Okay, so that's where vision comes coming. Where do you see yourself? That's where do you see yourself? Where does the business see itself compared to competition? Okay, compared to the competition, and in the perspective of the people that they serve. Are you following me? We're still laying the foundation. Okay, we're still laying the foundation so that when we're going to look at a few practical examples. Okay, that's the vision. So considering these things, we now have to find out key areas where we want to measure our success in. Okay, key areas where we want to measure our success. Okay. So those key areas are what they call objectives. And then the last stage now, those key, that means your vision and your mission are broken down into objectives. And objectives are further broken down to goals. At the level of goals, your objectives have to have those particular characteristics or features of goals. The one they call SMART, right? SMART. I believe almost everybody here should have come across it, either in your 100 level or in other areas of life, right? So when we say this must be specific, that's for SMART, it must be measurable, it must be what now? Achievable, it must not be vague, and then it must be what? It must be realistic, and then it must be based on time frames, it must be time bound. SMART. So let's jump into these four aspects now and look at them side by side. What are they? What is a mission? And how is it expressed? The expression of a mission is what they call a mission statement. Same thing with the expression of a vision statement. So there are also statements of objectives, and then there are also statements of goals. So when you say, I want to achieve 1 million naira sales per day, that's a goal, as a statement of a goal. We want to achieve 20% increase in revenue by the end of second quarter. That's a goal, right? It's an expression of a goal. Okay, good. So that's it. So look at it here. What do we have here? On the first part of my screen, on the left, we discuss what mission is. So for want of time, I think I'll allow you to study all of those yourself. Okay, we said a school exists to provide literacy. I already talked about what this is anyway. So the mission defines why, that why of the organization and what role it exists to play, right? So you can see that mission comes before vision. Now that vision is all about a directional path. Okay, from here that we've identified who we are, what we do, what's next, how do we, so that directional path, every business should have this. Okay, every business should have this. Every business actually has a mission. Some of those missions are just in the heads of the business owners, while some have been expressed orally, and some have been expressed in writing. Okay, same thing with the vision, but not all businesses have visions. Some small scale businesses are just to for survival. Not just survive, me man just survive. Okay, no, that's not good. Okay, so as you carry out that small scale, if you know them, if you know all those small scale businesses that have been at the same level for 5 years, it's time to give them some strategic management tips. Ask them, where do you see your business in the next 2 years? Just that question will trigger boing, will trigger a response. They will now say, wow, so I've been at this thing for over 5 years, and I've been at the same level managing this kiosk. Mhm. So that's how it operates, okay? So you trigger those responses, and then you trigger those questions, and then the owner of the businesses begin to think. They start thinking about their lives, and then now knowing that they should have a vision apart from a mission. Okay, so um I said mission and goals. Mission are open-ended. Mission, I'm sorry, objectives rather are open-ended. Okay. There are key result areas. Key result areas like, okay, how do we measure our progress? We have to measure our progress by looking at sales, looking at our human resource function, particularly in business functional areas. When we say business function, business functional areas are different from functions of business. I hope you know that. Functions of business are those things that businesses are expected to carry out in society. But when we say business functional areas, we're referring to the different aspects through which a business function or operates. And it function. That's how we have finance function, sales function, production function, human resource function. Okay, so that's one area you must see. That's one area you will see. That's one area you should see. Um, Objectives. So objectives are a breakdown of the mission and the vision into key result areas, KRAs. Okay, so those that form the basis for measurement. So when you start engaging them in a measurement, that's when we now have KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay, key performance indicators. So with each of these performance indicators, you now know how well you're performing in those key result areas. I hope that's what taking. So this expression is found in what they call statements, mission statements. So let's look at a few. I'm going to open my browser and then we're going to find out. We're going to look at mission statements, vision statement. At least these two are usually common. Okay, when you go to the website of a serious institution, you will find out. You will find out what of the channels should I even use to do that. Let me use this one that has your LMS. Okay, so let's say vision statement of what now? Zenith Bank. So now this way I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to ask you to speak now. So I want you to pick up your phone right now where you are. Pick up your phone and check any company that comes to your mind. Check the vision statement and the mission statement and read it out to us. Now. Okay. So see this. So by this now, the objective of this is for you to know when you see a mission statement, you will know that this mission statement is well crafted. Okay. Or can't know this mission statement is not well crafted. So what do you see on my screen? Zenith Bank, vision and mission. What's their vision? What's the mission? When they present it out there, they usually present the vision first too. That's the one that people should see. But what comes first is the mission. What's the mission? Somebody read for us. What's the mission of Zenith Bank?
To establish a presence in all major economic and financial centers in Nigeria, Africa, and indeed
Like we lost you. Is your network okay?
the Zenith. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now.
I said the mission of Zenith Bank is to establish a presence in all major economic and financial centers in Nigeria, Africa, and indeed all over the world, creating premium value for
Premium
all
value for all
stakeholders.
stakeholders. Thank you very much. Okay. Can you see that now? Financial and economic. They are majorly out there to boost economic activities and financial activities. So this is how they craft their mission statement. But now when you look at their vision statement, it still refers to that building something, to build a brand, right? And a reputable international financial institution recognized for innovation, superior performance, and creation of premium value for all stakeholders. Beautiful. So which one have you found out now? After pick up your phone and
GT Bank. GT Bank.
okay. Let this be the last bank. If you have checking for bank, go leave banks. The second person now go ahead and look for another institution. GT Bank, go on. Let's take GT Bank.
All right. GT Bank's mission is to make end-to-end financial services easily accessible to every Africa and business by leveraging technology and strategic partnership. They aim to be high quality financial service provider, striving for excellent, aspects of their operations and adding value to all stakeholders. Their
This is
vision is to become African leading financial services institution.
this is beautiful. This is to me. This is even more expressive than the one of Zenith Bank that we just. Let's go again. Let's see if we can bring it out here. GT Bank, right?
Yes,
GT
sir.
Bank vision and mission statement. Okay. To me, like I said, I think their mission statements and vision statements are even clearly spelled out than
Mm.
than what we just read from Zenith, right? Uh, I don't know if I could just use what this AI is giving to me now, or I should just go to their website. All right.
Boa Group, sir.
Okay, I'll come to you now, please. Okay, I love the way it's going. Okay, look at this now. Our vision, our mission. What does this tell you? What does the mission tell you? Mine now, because you're going to be crafting mission statements. Okay, remember what a mission statement is. A mission statement is supposed to express who we are, what we do, especially that part of what we do, because what we do is actually why we exist. So they exist because they want to render financial services.
Yeah.
So they're making it easily accessible to every African
Every-
and business.
Yes.
They now put a little thing there by telling you how they intend to do this. They leverage technology and also leverage strategic partnerships. But the vision statement, on the other hand, should not be talking about what we do. It's talking about where we see ourselves a few years to come, many years to come, especially when we start looking at it in relation to all the competitors and our customers' perspective. Now imagine GT Bank of today that is making this kind of. Imagine that GT Bank has this statement like 30 years ago. 30 years ago, many of us were still young. Some of us were still children trying to come up. Some of us even getting to universities, and you want your father to send you money. Your father will say, go out with First Bank, go out with Union Bank, go out open an account with First Bank, go out open an account with Union Bank. That bank is children's bank. But GT Bank knows what it's doing. Because these children of today that you say is children bank, in the next 20, 30 years, they'll become the fathers and mothers of the day. And what happened? Many times it has collected an award, just guided by just this vision and mission. So when you are crafting your own, because I usually give a test for that. You craft a vision statement and mission statement. Okay, good. So thank you so much, GT Bank. Yeah, the next person that was giving me for another organization. Let's take your own now.
Boa Group.
No, yeah, I think Maka first. Okay, we'll come back to Nigeria first. I would love to hear that too. So let's take is it Madam Amaka or Mama Amaka? Okay, let's
Okay,
go on.
sir. Yes, sir. Okay, Boa Group's mission statement is to
Boa
provide
Group.
high
Ah,
quality
no,
Boa
calm
Group,
down, calm down. Spell it.
BUA.
Okay, Boa. Okay, that's fine. Let's
Boa.
go on.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
go
Okay.
on. So go on.
Boa's mission is to
Uh-huh.
provide high quality products and services with a
Mm,
focus on total quality management,
mhm,
contributing to the development of the Nigerian economy.
mm. See it here. I love that. That one is also like the one for GT, telling you what they do and how they want to do what they do or why they do what they do. Then what's their vision statement?
Okay, their vision statement is
It's on my screen already, so I think we can read from here now. It
okay,
said
sir. Okay.
it said the vision is to be a world-class conglomerate. World-class, what does that tell you? We know that there are other conglomerates, but considering our competition, we want to be a world-class, okay? Spreading across Africa and beyond. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. Let's take the last one from Nigeria Air Force. Who was going to give us for Nigeria Air Force? Hmm?
to ensure the integrity of airspace
Hold on, please.
by
Let me start looking for it from here to while you read. Okay. Vision and mission statement. Let's just start with Nigerian Air Force. Are you a soldier?
yes, sir.
Nigeria, okay, statement, right? All right, so let's go down. Let's
Mission
go
of
there.
the
Let's see.
to ensure the integrity of the airspace by
Mhm.
maintaining control of the air while retaining a credible capacity to fulfill other air power tasks demanded by national defense and security imperatives.
Good, beautiful. This is what they do. This is what they set out to do. This is what they. This is how they do what they set out to do, and this is why they do. See, we're answering three questions with mission statement. Okay, so this will be the last one we'll take. Let's see. Did they write a vision? If they write a
Yes, sir.
vision, then give it to us, please. Let's add it up.
To build a highly professional and disciplined air force through
Mm,
capacity building initiatives for effective, efficient, and timely employment of air power in response to the Nigerian national security imperatives.
that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now, where you are,
I have that earpiece.
no, let's stop this. Okay, we have another thing to touch now. Okay, you have an
Okay.
assignment for this. In that assignment, you will pick anyone and write out, and then you yourself will now craft one. You will craft it by yourself. I will okay. Maybe just assume you are the one that will assume the business. It won't be an existing business already, or it won't be a popular business. Maybe just it's a be a small one or one that you know in your area that may not be fine, that may not be available online, or that may not have a strong online presence. Maybe a poultry as small as it is. Okay, you craft for it a mission, something like that. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that assignment. I'll send it to you. I'll give it to you as one of your assignments. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so thank you very much for that responsiveness. That's how we get it done. Okay, so now let's look at objectives and goals in terms of how they are expressed. Okay, objectives and goals. These two terms, different textbooks or different materials, mix them. But they're not the same thing actually. One is like a mother of the other. Some materials I've seen, what your courseware say that goals are and objectives are. That's what some other materials we say we call goals. And what we call, okay, goals is what some other materials we call objectives. Okay, but that's not, don't panic about that. Just focus on what we have here. Okay, so looking at the business function, sales function, that area now, I'm looking at market coverage, market leader, market follower. Like MTN will always brag about being the market leader for a while before this company started coming out. Okay, marketing generally, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty. These are areas where we want to measure our performance. So technically, there's just not so much to say about statement of objectives, human resource, what is our employee satisfaction, okay, and so on and so forth. So the major statements come up when those things are broken down into measurable goals. Look at this example here. To have at least 20% increase in our sales by the end of the quarter. This one we know we already have a value of sale. So let's assume that the sale currently is 2 billion naira. So by the end of the quarter, we want to increase it by 20%. That means we're expecting it to have reached 2.4 billion naira. Are you seeing that these are exact measures? Okay, and there's a time frame to it. Is it achievable? It's smart. That's what they call that SMART. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable. Yes, it's realistic and it's time bound. Look at the second one. To achieve 100% total customer satisfaction every day in every restaurant for every customer. Okay, to reduce employee turnover by 5%. Okay, so when you check your courseware, you will see many examples there. You two also go and you have to look for many examples. Okay, I always want to see these particular types from three perspectives, three types of goals. A goal is either a target, like these ones we have read out now, or an event. To do this, I want to complete a project. I want to, okay, that's an event. That's an event in itself. And then a behavioral change. Until you see that change, then you know, so you read all of these available. Let's go back to what we're studying. So we're looking at mission statements, vision statements, statement of objective, statement of goals. This is what they call a comparative study. And looking at them side by side, trying to see how they are similar and then how they are different, and then how they are connected. Okay, so when you hear compare and contrast between this and that, that's what is expected of us to do. Okay, so we said a well articulated mission statement. You can see that now. A good mission statement must be precise, clear, feasible, distinctive, motivating. Hmm? Now it should have the following capabilities. It should be simple and easily understood, precise and clear. It should be distinctive. It should apply to the object of the business. When we say the object of the business, we're referring to what the business does. A bakery produces bread, so their mission statement should speak to bread. Okay. A bank provides financial services, so their mission statement should speak to financial services. Okay. Yes. So, uh, well, okay, look at that. It must be well communicated. Everybody in the organization should know about it. And then it should be a reference based up a reference upon which major decision. It's not based on which okay, on which major decisions are based. I think better put this way. Look at it. Yeah. A reference. If you're making a major decision, then you must know that you're not deviating from the original reason why. Okay. It must be credible, it must be feasible, it must be motivating. Okay, I think the same thing applies to a vision statement in that wise. But here, we're looking at two words. It would have been better if I had left this particular one for the next class where we'll be discussing strategy. You're bringing some strategic factor into your vision statement. So just save this one. We'll discuss it in the next class. Is that raising of hand intentional or a mistake? So that we'll know whether to take questions now or wait. We'll soon wrap up though, because I don't want this class to exceed 9:30. Okay. Now, general. Oh, you can't hear me. What's happening? When did I mute myself? I don't even know when I muted. Apologies. What was the last thing you heard?
There was no mute. You said, is that raising of hand deliberate or not? So,
Okay,
and I
so
don't want this class to exceed 90. Those are the things that you were saying.
okay, thank you very much. That means it's just now I just found out that I'm muted. Thank you very much. Okay, so general areas, right? If you check it now, you find out that number 8 is a direct company function. Number 7 is a direct business function. Number 6 is also a business function. Okay, but the others are general. The others apply to all the other areas of the business. So you can have as many marketing, marketing area, marketing objective, sales objective, human resource or human capital objective, production, finance, okay, and so on and so forth. We look at 1 to 5, value creation. Number 2, profitability, growth and survival. Number 3, innovation, quality management, and so on and so forth. That's where we have research and development and the other things that follow. Okay, I think we're almost done. We're almost done. I'll just open your courseware to see whether there are aspects that you need to cover on your own. I know there should be definitely. So we said I said this from the beginning, every organization should have a mission. A mission legitimizes its presence, justifies its existence, justifies its actions. Okay. Now, I said, no, your material is not different from mine. This one is just a summary. This one is a note that have been crafted out from yours. That's why you're looking at your notes. If you read line by line, you see all these things. All these things. If you read your courseware line by line, you see all these things. Okay, you see all these things that that you that are there. Good. So okay, so I said let's when we're doing vision or strategy, let's discuss around strategic vision. It is very important. Okay, I think I need to bring it out somewhere separately. Strategic vision, okay, because we're not discussing strategy yet, but we are bringing strategy into we are bringing strategy into vision, right? So when we say strategic, I don't want to start talking about strategy now. That's the topic for the next class. So we'll talk about that. I just pray I remember to. I'll see it somewhere there, and then we'll go that far here as well. All right. So I think that you should note about. The other things you can read them on your own, but make sure you read them. Make sure you study them to the end. Okay. Make sure you study them to the end. Right? Yeah, you need that. You need all of those things, especially as it has to do with differentiating between the mission and the vision, differentiating between business objectives and business goals, or goals and objectives, as the case may be. Okay, so when you check your courseware, you find more. Let's see if we can check the folder and see what can come out of there. I think this should be the old folder. Yeah, this is the previous year's folder. Okay, so let's just look at business policy PDF material. Okay, so this is your courseware. I believe everybody has this. You've been able to lay your hands on this and then do a study. You can even come up with your own notes. Maybe it's your own note that we'll adopt for our classes going forward, right? Yeah, don't think less of yourself like that. You're a genius. All right, so let's look at we're done actually. I just want to see the structuring of your material so that some of you can be properly guided. The material treated this topic the other way around. Me, I'm treating it opposite because I want to begin with I want you to move from what you already know into what you need to know. Okay? So that's why we are what topic is this? Strategy. So after strategy, we then have objectives. Right. So that's what we'll discuss. Um okay, so that's why they discuss strategic vision there. But that's not how it's gonna be with us, Sha. All right, I think your class is not so many. Why? If are supposed to be 113, right? I don't know why I'm not seeing you guys here. Seeing some of your colleagues come to lecture. They will not come and start giving us books during examination. It's well, you know what we see during some examination, you just know that. All right, so let's look at this. So these are the ideas that were treated directly from your courseware. So like I was saying, when you go through your courseware, you find out some of these things that we've already discussed. The courseware started with discussing the vision and then some hidden things in between the lines. Okay. And then the rest of them. Three elements of from vision to strategic vision. So I said we will discuss strategic vision when we are discussing strategy. And then the purpose or the mission. What? Wow. Okay, no problem. All right. Give me a second, please. All right. So let's have all of this. That's it anyway. That's pretty much it. If you have any question, I can take a question. I'm opening it so that you know that you have to study. You have to study deep. Okay, really, really deep. To get to where you're going. Okay. So I can stop the recording if you have any question. If you have any question, you can go on to ask it. Okay. Um, you can also check the past questions, which are at the bottom.
Hello.
I can hear you now. Go on.
Thank you very much, sir. My question, of course, might not be centered on the what you call the teachings or the lectures for this evening, but that I just heard you said you can stop the recording. So sorry, my question is: can I or can we all have this recording,
Yeah, you
or
usually have all
probably those
recordings.
ones that has gone behind? Because of course I was late to join the class this evening. I'm very sorry.
Um, the issue is that did you read thoroughly the elements that created this lecture? There's a
Yes, sir.
guide there. There's a guide on how to get that. Okay, there's a guide on how you can get all the
There.
materials there. Yeah, this should be lecture 3, BSAQ201 lecture 3. You had opened it, okay, try and always study that, okay? It puts you over. You will see the discussion. You can access all available materials via the link this. Okay, when you click on the link, it's going to take you to a drive, a Google Drive that you find both the previous. Just follow the instructions there. Follow what you're seeing there. BSAQ201 live video lecture links. Click on it and then you get to see the previous lectures. All the lectures you need, the ones you missed before you see them. So when these ones are ready, they will also be added there as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. So I think would that be all? Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys very much
Thank you
for your
very
time
much, sir.
tonight. Yeah. So I would say well done. Then we'll catch up with ourselves later on. Okay.
All right, sir.
Yeah. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you too. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Good night.
Good night.